Okay, recently I've been playing some Outlast, and it's really made me realize how much of a fucking pussy I am when it comes to playing horror games, or even watching horror movies for that matter. The thing is, when I was younger, I always loved horror shit, like I always loved watching horror movies, and even playing horror games, but I just could never deal with it, and it's kind of the same scenario here. I can't seem to deal with horror shit, even though I love playing it for some odd reason. It kind of gives me this like kind of rush of adrenaline, but what I don't understand is I can play this game, and it gives me kind of like a rush of adrenaline, and I like that feeling inside me. But when it comes to doing like things in real life, like people will climb skyscrapers or do some really scary shit like skydiving and fucking bungee jumping. But I never liked that feeling. I always kind of like playing horror games and watching movies and shit, and I kind of like that rush of adrenaline inside me. But when people go out and do scary shit like climbing like really tall buildings and shit and risking their life, that shit isn't fun. That isn't a nice feeling. That's fucking terrifying. A lot of people find that shit fun, but for me, I just want to sit inside. If it's putting my life at risk, that is not a fun feeling. That's a fucking terrifying feeling, and it's not a nice feeling to have inside your body. It just builds up a load of anxiety and you get really scared and panicky and shit. It's just not nice. But when it comes to playing horror games, I get a different experience from that. I get like the adrenaline kind of feeling to where you feel as though you're on edge, your heart's racing, you're sweating, and it just really feels scary, and it is a kind of a cool feeling. But it's not putting your life or anyone else's life at risk. And as I was playing Outlast here, I started to think, what makes this game so scary? Like, what makes Outlast so fucking terrifying? Like, it's known as one of the most scary horror games ever created. And for a good reason. If you've ever played Outlast, you know how fucking terrifying this game is, especially with sound. And that brings me on to what I was going to say. Sound in this game is key. I think sound when it comes to pretty much any form of media, like a game or a movie or a TV show, it's probably one of the biggest parts. Like, try watching a TV show or a movie, or even playing a game for that matter, playing without sound. Now, of course, there are certain games that you can play without sound, like for example Call of Duty. You can listen to music while you're playing that game. It's not necessarily a key aspect of the game. But sound is what makes up a big part of the experience when it comes to especially watching things like TV shows and movies. But more importantly, when it comes to horror games like Outlast here, because the sound design in this game is fucking amazing. Like, seriously, whoever the fuck worked on the sound in this game, well fucking you done a fucking beautiful job. The sound in this game is just on point. They literally hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah, seriously, the sound in this game is just fucking terrifying. I think that's what makes up a big part of what makes the game scary. Like, whenever you're walking around, there's like little bits of sound that you have in the background, like even people screaming, or little like different atmospheric sound effects, like some footsteps, or even like a bit of an echo or something in the background that really creates a creepy vibe. And not to mention the fact that whenever you get a jump scare come up, the jump scare is really only key, or really only scares you when there's sound. Now, I did find myself at one point playing the game without sound, and I did actually get a bit of a jump scare when a body fell down from like the ceiling in the sewers, and it did kind of made me jump a bit, and it was kind of unexpected. But if I was playing with sound on there, that would have scared the fucking shit out of me, and I know I would have screamed like a fucking wee girl if I was playing with sound on, because it is a lot more scary whenever the sound's elevated, and that's where jump scares mainly come from. Sound's a big part of horror games. Sound's a big part of a lot of things, and whoever the fuck worked on the sound design in this game, just, I don't know what they've done. They've just done an amazing job. That's really what makes this game really so fucking terrifying. Not necessarily the visuals, but yeah, the visuals are pretty scary as it is. But mixed in with the amazing visuals, the lighting, and everything, add the sound into that, it makes for a scary ass fucking game. Like, seriously, this game is fucking terrifying, and if you've ever played Outlast, you know how terrifying this game is. Unless you're just like the complete opposite of me and you can handle pretty much anything that's thrown your way, then good for you, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about in today's video. I just kind of want to talk a bit about this game. I probably will have a Far Cry video out for my next video, because I do want to talk a bit more about that game. I'm not going to only make one video on the game because it's a fun ass game, but I didn't really have anything to talk about Far Cry related today, so I decided I'd talk about Outlast because that's a game I've also been playing recently before I got Far Cry, so it's pretty fun. So yeah, anyway guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.